Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Anybody have a good solution for that? Aggregating sales numbers? I have some funky, crazy spreadsheet stuff going on. Anybody else have something better?
I don't have anything, but I saw in there's some new features in Google Spreadsheets that we can use a Google Apps script to go and like call that API and pull it in.
Oh.
We could have some sort of macro with Google Apps script, and it might be kind of a cool project. I don't have a solution. That's just an idea.
No, that's a cool idea. Yeah, I mean it's all about sharing ideas, right? So yeah, today what I do is I download the CSV file in all its gory detail, and then I've got this nice conditional if kind of thing that goes in and totals up the sales, subtracts the sales that where they changed their mind and got a refund, and separates out the U.S. from the non-U.S. And that's all I have the patience to write in my spreadsheet. So yeah, so that's what I've got, and that was pretty complex for me anyway, I guess. I wish there was a better thing. I'd like to, maybe Google will improve it. So interesting thing, new feature since Google I/O 2001, just the other day, right? You can now exclude specific devices. So let's say you're running, Angry Bird, the next Angry Birds. It's awesome. It's a game. It's pushing those pixels, and there's some guy, some poor sap that's got this really crappy old device. You can actually exclude him so he never buys your device and then starts whining and complaining. It's kind of brutal to say that you're going to do that, but if he complains and says, hey, app is busted, and he doesn't qualify it, well, heck, people just don't read that qualification anyway, right? So if somebody gives you a 1-star rating because he's got a crappy device, and then you miss 5 sales for somebody that would have worked just fine for him, yeah, that's not so cool. So do that if your app is kind of pushing the boundaries. You can sell in most countries now. All of a sudden, 99 new countries showed up the week of Google I/O. It was awesome. Just the week before, I had some guy in Slovakia email me, dude, I can't get Android Market. Can you hook me up PayPal-like? And I was like, I haven't figured that out yet. And then I watched a Google I/O thing, and I emailed the guy back, hey, more countries, wait a couple of days. And turns out, boop, he's happy. So, yeah, so nice thing. Most countries are now available. Used to be a big issue, right? That was a big negative on Android Market. Only available in some certain countries. It's now available. We've also got carrier billing in a lot of countries. It's nice. Actually, carrier billing, I think, is only U.S. Spoke too quick. Also, they've increased the maximum size of your APK. It used to be pretty small. I think I heard a rumor that 2 gigs the max now, which is just kind of absurd. My app's like 400K. Now, I'm not a game, so there's not a lot of graphics, but just saying. And they announced a new thing. I got the impression that it's like summertime or something, you'd be able to do this, where you'll be able to upload multiple APKs. So a better solution to excluding specific devices is that you could actually upload a version of the app that's specifically tuned to that low-end device, right? You crank down the resolution on the graphics, maybe have less background sprite thing going on, and then the guy has a good experience, he's getting his value, he's happy. There you go. Anyway, so they're coming up with some solutions. All right, important advice. I won't pretend to be the owner of this. I got this from a Google I/O presentation. Upload, but don't publish your package before distributing it to anyone. Otherwise, somebody else can come in and kind of steal your package name, which would suck, right? Because then you got it out. And then, anyway, this reserves the package name. Evidently, thank you in the back, does not reserve the app name because app names do not need to be unique. Another thing, back up your key store. So when you sign your app, you have to generate your little key store thing. If you lose your key store, you will not be able to update your app. On the session in Google I/O, they basically said, yeah, call up Larry and Serge. Yeah, it won't do you any good. You will not be able to update your app if you lose your key store. So do something with that.
So I've never been concerned about someone taking my package name. I mean, the user never sees that. It's just
I'm kind of with you on that. I'm not sure why they really mentioned that if this wasn't true, and evidently it's not, so.
I mean, yeah, it's just a problem on the device when you try to install two applications with the same package and it won't work.
Oh, that's a good point. That's another thing. It reminds me, so if you run a beta and you're distributing an unsigned version of your app, and then somebody goes to the market and they try and buy your app, and you still have the beta one installed, you get this cryptic, your app's not properly signed, implying the market one is screwed up, when in fact the problem is that you have the two apps installed. You got really crappy error, thanks Google. But that's the solution, is that they need to make sure that they uninstall the beta first. So actually Google made, probably I think in the same presentation, made the suggestion that what you do is publish your app, the beta version of your app, someplace cryptic. So like create another account, it's only 25 bucks, right? Create another account, publish it under that account with a different package name. Do the beta, have the description on the beta be like nothing, so it doesn't show up in the indexes. And you can run your little beta. When you're done, shut it down, and there you go. I mean, that's, anyway, just an idea. Oh, yeah, this last one. Don't use your personal Gmail account to publish your app because you can't move your app. You can't move it between publishing whatevers. Yeah, I did that. That was a bad idea. Don't do that.
What do you mean by you can't move it between? I mean, it's tied forever to that Gmail account.
Yeah.
well, you couldn't remove it and then re-upload it. I mean, you'll lose your ratings, right? But
You lose your rating, you lose your existing customers. So if anybody paid, some
That's
money
true.
for the app,
That's right.
they lose that ability to update, right? Because you've created a completely new app. So if you reach a milestone where that's okay, then this is version 2. Maybe that's cool. But then how do you lead those? Get that upgrade thing to happen. Yeah. Don't do that.
so if you sign it with the same key, I think apps can still talk to each other if it's got the same.
Oh.
So I mean, that's just one way. So you could probably still have an upgrade path, or push people.
Well,
something like that.
Yeah. The trick is the users are expecting that update to be free. And if you publish it again, then they're like, "Hey, dude, I just bought it last week." But, Oh, yeah. So support for your app. So I'm it for my company, right? Google gives out your phone number. So I've had people, hey, yeah, so my credit card isn't clearing, and I'm trying to buy the app, and I'm trying to re-enter my thing, and I enter a new credit card, and can you help me out? I wrote the app. What the crap? I have no idea why Google is doing this. Do you know why Google is? I don't even know where they're getting my phone number. Anybody?
Government's releasing all personal and stuff, like including cell phone numbers, to telemarketers now, or at least by the end of this month they will. So
They just did a Google search on you.
So people are
do not call
my
me.
users, they call me up expecting me to be Google and to actually have tools to help them with the purchase process.
Google had that.
And I'm like, why do you not have a Google phone number or email address? Anyway. any insight into this?
I think they're giving out because they don't have it, right? Google, where's Google service?
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
started on that. All right, let's move on. That was a depressing slide. I don't like it.
About 20
Yeah.
minutes.
I like giving support, but yeah, I pride myself on giving good support to users. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to support Google's stuff. All right, Android Market. So we're talking about different ways to distribute apps. How are we on time?
Got about 20 minutes.
I won't get to the end. Android Market. So this is the obvious, easy way to distribute your app. Now with carrier billing, awesome. Most countries. Interesting thing to note is that AT&T seems to lock their devices into Android Market, so no unsigned APK. So AT&T guys can't participate in an unsigned, upload it to your app, your website beta kind of thing.
And they've announced they're going to change that, actually.
Oh, really? Hey, that's good to know.
Amazon App Store.
Yeah, actually, that's my next slide. Challenge with the Android market is it's crowded, right? I couldn't actually find a reasonably good number. They seem to be almost up to 350,000 apps, which is a ton. But so the downside to the Android market is that it's crowded. There's going to be a competitor. The upside is that everybody's got access to it, right? There's very little barrier to entry. Most everybody has this way and is trained to go get their app from here. Amazon App Store. I suspect that everybody that has an Android device now has learned the free app of the day thing, right? So it's good because you get visibility on the Amazon App Store. Fewer apps means less competition. They do curate things a little bit, so you do have the ability to, there's a bit of a premium. The app's going to have a little bit more goodness to it or something. Maybe it's going to be a better app. The problem is Amazon in the contract, they can discount your app kind of because they feel like it. They can give it away because they need another app to give it away. Yes?
So I put mine in the Amazon Market for fun.
Yeah,
And,
how's that?
The sales are terrible, but they do, whatever your asking price is, they'll always pay you at least, I think it's 20%. Even if they gave it away for free, they'll still pay you 20% of your asking price or whatever. But
Yeah.
it is weird though, because they'll set the price for it.
How exactly are they going to, yeah, anyway.
Machine learning.
I've chosen not to do my app on Amazon App Store. I'm not planning to do it quite yet. I'm still thinking about it. Good to know. Thank you for sharing though. You can't price your app higher on the Amazon App Store than it is somewhere else. So you can't say, oh, they're going to discount it at least this amount, so I'm going to jack up the price. And so, it's kind of the old, I don't know, lots of stores that does this, right? Hey, it's on sale down to a reasonable price. Yeah, you can't do that. Here's another one that came up last week for me. So there's this device maker called Archos. They make tablets and stuff, a number of Android devices. Archos brand device. They haven't done whatever they need to do in order to be an official Android device. And so there is no Android Market app on these devices. So if you get somebody that says, hey, I want to buy your app, but they've got one of these devices, the only way to sell the app